tag. Very nice, very evil.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
What up, Tag Nation, and welcome to another edition of Hot Tag with 2/4 of the Fatal 4-Way of the IWC. You got myself, ScooterRay, and you got the man who keeps hitting the rungs, who you know that proverbial brass ring is right there. And he keeps just batting at it, but you know, it just keeps getting pulled away from him. Just keeps getting pulled away from him. But we got our Forbidden Door, Juggernaut 097 with us. And you can kind of see it in the background. But if you didn't know, we're here to talk about AEW's World's End that was last night. And you know, let's go ahead and give some thoughts. Juggs, how was you feeling about the pay-per-view yesterday as a whole? How was you feeling?
Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable pay-per-view. Like AEW, yes. Like their weekly television could be iffy sometimes.
Yes, it can.
But and sometimes their pay-per-views could be like they go like go. But
it could be
last night, it could be like very up and down. But they were actually pacing the show pretty good last night.
Yes,
and I feel like a lot of people who won made sense for them to win.
Yes.
So I thought it was an enjoyable show, yeah.
I have two gripes, but they're going to be like almost my kind of personal gripes per se of the way I thought I saw stories possibly going. But for the most part, I kind of share that sentiment. I think the Continental Classic matches really helped this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Because you had 3 damn good matches, and that's definitely helped the pay-per-view. So, but you know what?
To be honest, I thought the Continental Classic, the finals, that should have been the main event of the show. That should have been the main event of the show.
You know what? I wouldn't have been mad at it, but of course, you know, with world title matches, and you know, AEW tries their best to do their world title matches at the end, but I wouldn't have been mad at that.
Yeah.
But we're going to run through the 0-hour stuff. We got Toni Storm going against Layla Gray. Toni Storm is still in her amnesiac form.
I don't even know what that word means.
So, you know, she's still new to the company.
Okay, there we go.
Even though she's a 3-time champion and everything, but she beat Layla Gray. She's going to fight Deonna Purrazzo. I think it was either Wednesday or Saturday. I can't remember.
It's on Collision because
so Saturday.
I was going through Instagram and I saw the graphic on there.
But Tony gets the dub.
You know, I kind of like this character that Toni Storm is doing, like how, you know, she's acting like a rookie. You know, she's never been in AEW before.
I honestly think it's still timeless Toni Storm pretending to be Toni Storm. That's always been my thing. That it's timeless Toni Storm acting like Toni Storm.
You know,
I hope why she's new to everything.
I hope this Toni Storm ends up getting a title eventually. She needs one. She needs a title.
I can see it. And then the next up, we had Jeff Jarrett, QT Marshall. Jeff Jarrett wins.
I mean, what was the point? I mean, they had that stuff on Ring of Honor, you know, at Final.
Yeah, Battle. Like they were kind of explaining it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And then we had the team of, as Dizzle like to call it, the Murder Machines with Kung Fu Action grip of with Action Andretti, Leo Rush, and the Murder Machines, which is Brian Cage and Lance Archer, versus the Outrunners, Truth Magnum, Turbo Fluid, and Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin. Now, I missed a couple of episodes of Collision, and I think an episode of Dynamite. Had I known that Action Andretti and Leo Rush was #1 contenders, I would have went for that team.
Well, actually, I don't think they were made. Well, since they got the win last night, you know, I think since they pinned who was it? Who they pinned? Since they got the pin, that made them like the #1 contenders.
Well, no,
private party.
There was a match. There was a tag team match between Andretti and Rush versus Top Flight And I think they said the winner of that team was supposed to be the number one contenders.
Oh, really? I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I must have missed it. Maybe it might have been on a Collision. I think it might have been on Collision because I don't watch Collision.
I think it was on a Collision. It had to be on Collision because I haven't missed a Dynamite. I can't think in recent memory, so it had to be either Collision or a Rampage.
Yeah, I haven't missed a Collision either. So yeah, I don't.
But yeah, had I known Andretti and Rush were the number one contenders, I would have went for the team, as Dizzle called, the Murder Machines with Kung Fu Action Grip, which by all means is one of the best team names ever. Welcome everybody, your still current Tag in the Bank and Tag Predictions champ, the man who, like I said earlier, as Juggs keep reaching for the brass ring, he has a secret man in the background raising the briefcase, a la Stone Cold, and set up for him to just seal that victory. But yeah,
I'm telling you, man, a win so spectacular, I had to come in here wearing color.
Wow. But you're here just in time because we're now kicking off into the main show, which is started off with the finals of, which was the Gold or the Blue League with these two gentlemen.
Well, it was they were doing because Will Ospreay, he was the runner-up in the Gold League, and then Kyle Fletcher was the winner of the Blue League.
Oh, okay, so that's how they did it. Okay,
it was weird how they did it this year. Like, because I didn't like how they did the three, the semifinals and the finals on here. I'd rather have just had the finals. But actually, now that I'm looking back at
I think with them having it on here, I think that's what made the show better for me. Personally,
now I'm looking back at it. Now I'm looking back at it. It makes the show a lot better. Yeah.
But yeah, so you had the finals between Kyle Fletcher, the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher, and the aerial assassin Will Ospreay. And I had one small gripe personally with this match. I would have enjoyed it a lot more had we just not seen these two last month go at a pay-per-view. If it was a little bit of time in between the fact that they just had that great ass match last month and they're kind of having to run it back this month, then it was like, okay, I have no choice but to go with Ospreay on this one. Like, I doubt if he was going to lose 2-0 to Fletcher, but nonetheless, great match. I still enjoyed the match. Fletcher is definitely a person who's growing on me, I would definitely say, because I wasn't familiar with United Empire and Aussie Open like that, but seeing Fletcher by himself, unfortunately, with Uncle Don, hey, why is more and more reasons Uncle Don is giving me reasons? Look, I'm even calling him Uncle Don now. Oh, God, no. Oh. But more and more seeing what Uncle Don is doing with Fletcher and Takeshita, I can't help but to, salute that. Maybe the Murder Machines, I don't know yet, but at least with Fletcher and Takeshita, I can't be mad at them being under the wings of Don Callis.
That's right. You show that respect, man. You show
but
all
y'all
that.
Take it away. What did y'all think of Fletcher and Ospreay in the finals? Well, semi-finals, sorry.
I think it makes sense.
It did.
Because ultimately, I do believe that the underlying storyline within this is Will Ospreay's rise to whether it be the main title or just him becoming a bigger star. So him going up against Kyle Fletcher is just another stepping stone. It does help Kyle Fletcher, which is why he won the last match that they had, but also to get him to go up against Okada in the finals. Mm-hmm. And I think it made sense for him to lose. I mean, we'll get into that as well, but it all made sense. And I think that it's really good storytelling, which is far and few between right now for AEW, but I think it is.
Yes, because I want you to put a pin in that, because when we get to that main event,
But yeah, there's not much really to say about the actual in-ring stuff because you have two friends, and again, Scoot says it countless times.
Friends always put on the best matches against each other.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
It's a no-brainer, and I think they killed it again. And they did put up the 1-1, so there's going to be a part 3 at some point. So, yeah, I'm ready for that. Just not so soon.
Yeah,
so
you know, to be honest, I like their match at Full Gear a lot better. And also, dude, this match was like so brutal. Like it was like I don't think it was even 5 minutes in, and Will Ospreay, he was like gushing down so much blood. Like man, he must have bladed a lot. Because
I mean, I think if he bladed, then he did it 3 times on his forehead because he had 3 slashes when he did his interview with Renee.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was a brutal match. I mean, also when he does those, the style clashes, or the like phenomenal forearms and stuff like that. When he does that type of stuff, you know what? I want to see a Will Ospreay and AJ Styles match. I want to see AJ Styles come to AEW. Just just for one time. I just want to see that happen. Have one round in AEW. That'd be fun.
But as we mentioned, the aerial assassin gets the dub, so he will be going to the finals. And who would he be going against? I mean, it was pretty much put stone. Kazuchika Okada is somewhat defending his Continental Classic Championship because he is the current champion, and he's going against Ricochet to determine who's going to go to the finals on that side of the board. And this was no brainer. Like, there was not at one point in this match I thought Ricochet was going to win. Not one point. I mean, it was a good showing. It was cool and all, but not one point that I think Ricochet was going to win.
Yeah,
like
I'm in the same boat. Yep.
Like, not one point. And if we can go ahead and fast forward, after Okada beat him with that Rainmaker, we hear the sweet tones of Swerve Strickland, and he comes out and was like, well, congratulations, Ricochet, because you made it just as far as I did. And since you wanted to run your mouth and pop all of that shit, I told you I was going to embarrass you and I was going to make it big. So Prince Nana proceeds to, with a cart, throw out toilet paper to the front row, and on Swerve's count, they all proceeded to just rain toilet paper at good old Trevor. And it was like, damn. Like,
I definitely see Ricochet. I definitely see him joining the Hurt Business eventually. Like, I think he's, it's gonna make him more of like a darker character. He's not gonna be so like doing this goofy type of stuff anymore. He's gonna be
goofy
acting.
Ass laugh is just
like there was something There was something that I saw on, I think it was X. It showed like Ricochet. He was doing something at Burger King or something. He was putting fries in bags. It was like hilarious. Just put the fries in the bag, my guy.
But so, as predicted, your finals is going to be Okada versus Ospreay for the Continental Classic Championship. And next up, arguably the worst match of the night. I'm sorry. And if you disagree, y'all can let me know. For the Dynamite Diamond Ring, we have the current holder, MJF, defending it against Adam Cole, baby. And I was waiting for this to be over with. Y'all can have y'all's opinions, but I was waiting for this to be. It was like, okay, let's just move on.
Yeah, I was so over this feud. It's just been like stop and start. I mean, yes, we had Adam Cole's injury and stuff, and then then Max, he comes back as a face, earlier in the summertime. And then we have Adam Cole. He comes back. Was it like a Wrestle Dream? Yeah, Wrestle Dream. And it's just like, and then he's a baby face, and then Max is a heel again. It's like I'm just so over this, and it's just like stop and start stuff with everything with this whole feud. I'm done.
I'm gonna let Dizzle go in a second, but I'm gonna just share the same sentiments Dizzle had about the FTW Championship. let's stop making this ring a thing.
I agree.
MJF has been the only one to hold this ring for 5 years now.
Yep.
Just let him just have it. Just let him have it. Because at this point in time, what does it even serve?
I forgot the purpose of it a long time ago.
Like, what does it even serve?
It's just for him to punch people in the face with the ring.
I mean, so at this point, just retire this idea. Just let MJF keep it and move on. But what do you got, Deasley, on this whole match and the aftermath and all of that? Go on, take it away, champ.
Well, the biggest thing, and I think this is like the biggest thorn in the side for AEW, is that, and I blame this solely on Tony Khan, because this storyline, I would say, is his baby to an extent.
It has to be. It has to be.
They didn't pivot when they needed to. I think they were so steadfast on making sure they got to the end that they didn't think about the repercussions of what could happen if they just tried to stick to the script. Because if they would have pivoted the moment that Adam Cole got hurt, instead of sticking to the script and making it go to World's End, which by the way was actually really good to have him come back and, you know, be the devil and all this other stuff. But the problem is there was no execution after the fact because Adam Cole was still injured. So it's like they were just basically biding their time up until they got to the point where he was actually clear. I think they should have just probably, and I mean this in the best way possible, done something akin to Aces and Eights, where you didn't know who the leader was for Aces and Eights until after, you know, Bully had won the World Championship. And then it was like the big shocker because then you had him with Brooke Hogan. And I know I'm going on a tangent for TNA, but
I mean, no, it's pretty much in that vein. Yeah.
You had the whole thing where it was a huge misdirect because of the fact that you had somebody who was actually the leader seemingly going up against his own faction.
Yeah, because at one point they made it seem like Brother Devon was the leader up until that infamous cage match where Bully revealed that it was me, Playboy.
Yeah. And
so you're right, because MJF could have been taking on Roddy, Wardlow, and Taven and Bennett to some extent in Cole's absence.
Yeah, or even then at that point, I can't. I don't know, because MJF's return when that happened was really good.
Yeah,
I think that was really good. I think they should have just kept him a face, but I think once they had switched him heel with the whole Will Ospreay thing, which by the way was a good thing.
Yeah,
that was probably one of my favorite matches of the year
with the International Championship. I thought that was fantastic. I think they should have just, if that was the case, they should have just deaded the Adam Cole stuff and just let it play out for later to be like, oh, you thought we forgot about this, instead of just automatically going right back into it. Because if you would have done that, had him do the job for Ospreay and then go film Happy Gilmore 2, and then let all the other stuff play out and then come back and then revisit the story instead of trying to play it within the confines of everything that's going on right now. It was just a bad way to go. But either way, I know I'm going off on a tangent all over the place, but this match was not my cup of tea. I'm happy that it's over, and I hope that it continues to be over, but you know, knowing them, I doubt it is.
You know, and I heard rumors going into the show like, oh, I heard that the Undisputed Kingdom's going to turn on Adam Cole. Like, oh, please, no, please, dear Lord, no. I don't want MJF to be a leader of a faction again. Like, I want him far from being a leader of a faction. And the stuff with Kyle O'Reilly when he came in there, everything just felt awkward. It did.
You know what it was? That's because, like, the issue with the Kyle O'Reilly stuff, right? It's almost looking at Triple H with DX, and that Shawn Michaels DX, his DX, when it was Road Dogg, Billy, and X-Pac. It was like, you know, y'all are friends, y'all are a group, even when y'all beefing, it seems like y'all can always come back together at some point. And when we all saw Undisputed Era all go to AEW, it was like, okay, we know at some point that all three of y'all are going to be, because, you know, Fish already had left. So,
yeah.
And so for Kyle O'Reilly to do this whole will they, won't they aspect, and it's like, motherfucker, we knew you was going to join up, my boy. Like, why are you sitting here playing in our faces? Because they even did a whole little video that showed that all five of them are now Undisputed Kingdom. So they're all five, one big happy family. Where the fuck is Wardlow?
Which and sorry again, people.
That's a story that never got finished. Also.
That's what they should have been telling. They should have been telling the story of the Kyle O'Reilly things. I think that would have made sense for MJF to take a back seat, go do his film, and do this stuff. Put a pin on that. Figure out what the fuck is going on with Wardlow, and then after all that, after you think everything's all fine and dandy, then have MJF come back in as a heel to their face stuff, and then the heel turn and face turn would make sense because it was out of sight, out of mind. I'm done now. I'm done with this now.
I mean, yes, I hope we're all done with this. Like, I hope this is the storyline that just is finally over. Yeah. Juggs, you got anything to add on before we move on?
I mean, you guys basically hit all the points there. Yeah, there's nothing else to be said.
All right, Juggs, I'm gonna let you take this next one away after I introduce it, since this your girl, and we have in a Tijuana street fight for the AEW Women's World Championship. You got Mariah May defending against Thunder Rosa. Juggs, don't take it away. Don't take it away.
This was definitely a match, you know. I mean, I don't really know. Like, I thought I was expecting a lot more out of this match. I don't really know what I was expecting, but I mean, Mariah May, she is still your AEW Women's Champion. She ended up doing hitting a power driver through a table? Was it that?
Something like that. Yeah, it was some kind of weird power driver where she winded up on top of Thunder at the end. So it was something weird.
I mean, yeah, it was a cool match, but like we knew that Thunder Rosa wasn't going to win this match here. We just knew it. I like that thumbtack spot in the match. I mean, that was cool. You know, with the whole
pinatas
and all that. That was cool. I don't know. There was something I was expecting more out of this match. I don't know.
You know what it?
Go ahead.
You know what it is? Like, if we really being honest with you, if we're looking at Mariah's whole championship reign, and this is since beating Timeless Toni Storm, there's only been one opponent that actually somewhat made sense, and they kind of brushed past it, and that was Mina, because with that whole friendship thing, every other opponent that was thrown Mariah's way was like, since when was you gonna be in championship contention? You know, like you know, like
and the whole story
and all of these people. It was like, we don't see you winning this. Like, not to besmirch or anything, but it's like, we don't see you being the ones. And like you said, Thunder Rosa's case, it was like, not one time did I ever think that Thunder Rosa was going to be the woman to dethrone Mariah. You know, exactly. So they're not building women that's credible enough to be like, she might be the one. She might be the one.
Dynamic, like this different like power thing going on in AEW right now, where Mariah May doesn't seem like she's the actual, you know, she does that's
not at all. Not at all.
Like that AEW World Championship AEW Women's Championship doesn't seem like it's the main title, which will
in 2 matches that can be explained even further.
But yeah, this match, I mean, it was a match, and you know, Thunder Rosa, you know, I mean, she did get a victory over her, like.
Yeah,
she beat Mariah at one point, and then she also beat Mina, where she go like, "Hey, whoever wins that match at Winter is coming. Hey, she's the number one contender, I guess." But like, there was literally no story to this, and
it's like they just giving her opponents until whomever is going to be the one to dethrone her. Which maybe it may be Tony, somebody, I don't know. I really don't know.
Talking about the rookie.
Yeah, the rookie. Yeah,
the rookie. I want to see that rookie get that title. She's never held the title before.
She hasn't. But yeah, Mariah May still your women's champion. In the next match, you know, it was a good old fashioned hoss fight, a good old fashioned meat madness, as we were supposed to.
You know what Booker T likes to say? He says, "No bread, no water,
just meat." we got the big boys of Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Will Hobbs for the international championship. And it's funny because when you're used to seeing Hobbs and Hobbs being this big and Takeshita being this big and seeing them together, it's like that's a lot of humanity in that ring going at it the way they going at it. And I appreciate it because I can appreciate that it's not just a big man match and all they doing is just big man moves. No, that they're actually in there doing it. And that's how and I'm not gonna lie, there was like a slight glimmer of me that was like, do I want Hobbs to get that belt? But due to the fact of how much I'm loving Takeshita with Uncle Dunn, I didn't want him to lose the belt so soon. But yeah, I didn't want him to lose the belt so soon because once again, his presentation with Uncle Don. Cannot believe in 2024 I am acknowledging Don Callis. This is
goddamn right.
This is wow. Hey. This is the world's end. This is the world's end. But fellas, what y'all thought of Takeshita versus Hobbs?
You go ahead and paint this picture for everybody.
Go ahead, Picasso.
I was about to say that.
Go ahead, Picasso.
Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. Banger match.
Okay.
Will Hobbs, Konosuke Takeshita. Surprising banger match.
Surprising. Yes, it was surprising.
Yeah, this was a really coming out party for Will Hobbs here. You know, because I knew he wasn't going to win this title here yet. But this was like, hey, can he really, could he, potentially win this title someday? Hey, this was a coming out party for him right here.
You know what the common denominator is in both those matches?
What? Please.
All four of these men.
Fuck. They were. God damn it.
Callis.
God damn it.
You see, when you have a mind for talent like Uncle Callis, you tend to know what's on the horizon. And so I myself have been a proponent for Uncle Callis for so very long. And see, now people are starting to see the magnificence of what it is. This is no surprise. I mean, at least to me, it's not a surprise. But yes, these men had time to cook in the kitchen to get ready for moments like this. Yeah. And as Meek Mill would say, I used to pray for times like this.
Okay. We are not going to use "Dreams and Nightmares," one of the greatest songs ever. No. No, we are not. We are not doing this to Meek Mill. You know what? I take back that statement. You the champ. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So go ahead.
No, it's cool. I mean, it was the perfect, nice little knot to wrap that bow in. But yes, shout out to the crowd for this match because they really did make it what it was.
Yes.
This match still would have been good without it, but I think it set the aesthetic for everything. Because of course, a good crowd can make your match go up 2 notches easily. And I think the fact that they supported them even when you had that slight botch, which actually, I mean, it was a botch. I mean, let's be clear here, it was, but at the same time, they rebounded, pivoted, got back up to it, and went back to the turnbuckle twice. But the crowd saying "please don't fall" and chanting that was fantastic.
You got 2 6'4" men's.
I mean, and all the sweat on those ropes. All the blood that's been on those ropes that night. Yeah,
like them some big boys on there. So yes, please don't fall.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Also, there were a few near falls in the match. I go like, hey, maybe Will Hobbs could take it. There are a few near falls like, oh wow, I thought he was gonna win.
Like I said, that was a small percentage of me.
Yeah, but I gotta give Konosuke his flowers here. Yeah, he's really
like I said, I am loving Konosuke. Like, and I mean, of course, I went for Takeshita anyway. But of course, had I known he was supposed to defend his belt this upcoming weekend, then for sure, like,
yeah, he's supposed to be defending against Shingo.
Shingo. Yeah.
Shingo Takagi, yeah.
So yeah, had I known that, I definitely, but for sure, like Takeshita was gonna keep it.
One thing I will say, and I do appreciate this, was the finish of this match. I think this probably have been the best finish of the entire night, and it helped Hobbs in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say my favorite finish, because the next match, I think it's the next match. What probably was my favorite finish, but
yeah. Speaking of the next match,
but yes, the finish for this actually made Hobbs look really good. For him to go into the guillotine, choke him out, and then to say, nah, that's not going to do it, and then go into the actual finish for the pinfall. Yes, as Scoot would say, chef's kiss. Just
yep.
Yeah. Shout out to Hobbs. Hobbs is going to be a champion at some point. And maybe if they run this back, that may be the case. But for one thing that did get ran back, it didn't go the other way.
Okay, you know what? We're here. I have one question. How the fuck did you know? How did you know? So the next match for the TBS Championship, Mercedes Mone, Kris Statlander 2. How the fuck did you know?
Okay.
Please inform us too. How did you know?
Okay, one, this isn't a surprise from me, because I am the resident dark horse pick. It happened with Swerve at one point. It happened with a bunch of other people at other points. This is what I do. I'm able to survey the landscape. Everything would tell you that Statlander is supposed to beat Mercedes.
Okay.
However, there are tidbits that make a lot of sense here. One, Mercedes is undefeated.
That's why I went for Statlander.
Me too.
She is the defeater of undefeateds.
And now also think about this. How did this match come to play?
The first time or the second time?
No, the second time.
Shit, I halfway don't remember. Other than her just
saying,
there
was literally no story.
Her just saying it.
I was about to say, didn't she just say, "Hey, I got next"? Like, you want to run it back?
Because Mercedes, basically, that the same thing that Takeshita is going through, Mercedes is also going to have a match. Mercedes is about to have 3 belts.
Oh no!
Oh,
so the thing is,
I do like the dance that Mercedes does, though. Oh man!
So Mercedes is about to get full of herself, and she has to get full of herself for her to win. So
that makes sense.
She could lose to Stat in the third one. There's a possibility there. Or she can lose it to an up-and-comer or somebody that needs that push. Could be Willow. But at the same time, Mercedes has to get to a point where she's full of herself. And the thing is, she's just now getting to the point where people are starting to look at her like they looked at her in WWE, where she is good for her matches. Sense. And so the last match that they had, she did fantastic. This match, you start to see the crowd kind of turn, because before she was getting go away heat.
Yeah,
now she's starting to get the necessary heat on top of the adulation. Yes. So this is why I was like, and it was risky because I didn't know. They you know how TK likes to do some weird stuff, but this I was like, nah.
Well, see, this is my issue with this. When I look at the name of the pay-per-view and I look at some of these matches, you think to yourself, what better way to have your world ended, per se, than to lose the TBS championship and your undefeated streak? Or hell, even MJF, you have your world ended, per se, by losing the Dynamite ring that you've been holding on to 5 years, but it was whatever. So that's the reason. And plus, you know, since they ran it back, it was like, okay, most likely Stat's gonna take it because they ran it back. But
yeah,
hey, I was actually surprised at how much I actually enjoyed this match.
You know,
I'm not
a lot of fans, you know, like they were complaining about, you know, how that what's that other match? That match that they did at Full Gear went under like 20 minutes. So you know, this match got like nearly about 25 minutes in this match here. Okay. Like they really tore the house down with this match. Like I think this was one of my matches of the night.
It definitely is for sure. Like it's definitely one of my. It's in the top 5 of the night for sure.
Like I thought, I might need to be sent to jail.
Oh Lord! Juggs is about to have a residential stay in horny jail. Like
no, Kris, Statlander, Mercedes. Oh like, my God, shucky, ducky, quack, quack.
And see, look, he quoting Booker T and shit. Yeah, he about to have a permanent home in horny jail.
Just lock me up.
Like he's about to just be reporting live from there just all the time. He ain't gonna be at home anymore. But Mercedes gets that dub, and we move on to the finals, which we got Kazuchika Okada defending against Will Ospreay. They didn't have an updated graphic, but here we go. Yeah, they didn't have an updated graphic, but here we go. Okada versus Ospreay. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all what went through my mind, and we're gonna wait before we get to the end. What went to my mind was Ospreay. Ospreay being that dude. He's being, you know, you could tell that they're putting a lot of stock into him. You could tell that, you know, especially since he lost the international championship, why not give him the Continental? And the rest of the elite lost their belts. Perry lost the belts. The Bucks lost the belts. Why not go ahead and have Okada lose his belt? Now, the moment they started that match and they was like, yeah, Okada winning this tournament could make him possibly the greatest tournament wrestler next to Masahiro Chono. Fuck!
Yeah, and also, before the tournament started,
that was my reaction.
Before the tournament started, they were saying how Okada could be one of the greatest tournament wrestlers of all times.
Yeah, like I said, the moment they said that, that's when I was like, well, I fucked up. I fucked up. The moment Excalibur, thank you. I'm about to call him Mass Face. The moment Excalibur said that shit, I was like, well, I picked wrong. But I still enjoyed the match. I enjoyed what these two gentlemen put on.
And also, it made sense for Will Ospreay to go in there all beat up the way he was. I go like, hey, this doesn't
ain't clean up shit. He didn't. No, he ain't trying to wash off nothing.
You know, because Will Ospreay, because it doesn't make him look weak if he loses here, because he was in a brutal match earlier.
Yeah, it's still Ospreay. Yeah.
So it still makes him look strong. But I gotta say the match kind of started out slow. But the last few moments of the match, it was like, and the crowd really made this match as well. Like,
well, I figured it was gonna be that way because the typical Okada matches are like that, where it starts off, kind of slow, it ramps up a little bit, then it crescendos into that end, and you just like, man,
like
that was a ride
with all the reversals at the end, like with all the near falls, like doing. I mean, I didn't like a lot of the no sells that they were doing. They were doing a lot of no sells there towards the end of the match.
It's AEW for you.
But hey, Okada wins, and to be honest, I thought this tournament, I didn't think it should have been for the Continental, Championship again. I thought it should have been like the final should have been like, hey, you either become number one contender for the AEW World Title. That's why I feel like
you have to call the tournament something else then.
Yeah, call it something else.
Because to be honest, I think they should merge. Because they have a lot of title belts in AEW. I think they should merge the Continental title with the International title, and that's what they should do.
Then they should call it the Intercontinental title.
Hey, Denzel knows the way I'm going.
The controversy that we will call. Now they're gonna be like, it's the International. Now what you got, Dizzle?
So I personally, Okada winning, no surprise. After seeing how the pay-per-view transpired, it was obvious. It was really set up for Ospreay to win. Like to have like that come from the bottom win, that whole victory where it's like you got the bloody face, you overcame the best tournament participant. Well, the best modern day tournament participant in an Okada. And to have him sit there exhausted, bloody face, winning that championship, overcoming somebody who he looked up to, his mentor, his former stablemate, it made so much sense. But it also helps because, again, just like Juggs said, it doesn't hurt Will Ospreay to lose this because at this point, as far as the fans go and popularity, he's untouchable. I don't know if you could ever really paint Will Ospreay in a bad light, heel or face. I mean, he's just so good. He's good in the ring, he's charismatic, he's relatable. Everything about him just oozes superstar. And I think him actually winning where it would have been predictable and deserve it also is something that would have, I don't want to say felt fatigued, but I think it's so predictable to the point to where it's like, oh, you expect him to win to win this. But the fact that he didn't also helps the story that they're telling, which of course goes back to what I was saying before, where it seems like they're actually in their bag when it comes to Will Ospreay. I mean, hell, if they're paying him a lot of money to get him over here and not to go to WWE, right, I would make sure that my pen is as steady as possible when it came to writing anything Will Ospreay related. So I don't know if I see Will Ospreay winning the Continental Championship in any iteration if it wasn't at this point.
Okay.
I think right now it might be time to, after they figure out this whole thing with Mox, Death Riders, and all this other BS that's happening, it's time to get the real, main event stars going for the title and get those in rotation.
Well, all right, so I'm gonna speak my piece on it, and then I'll let y'all two gentlemen take it away. But arguably, to me, the worst misfire of the night, after Okada wins and retains, Christopher Daniel comes out and says, "Hey, normally as an EVP, I will be bringing you this championship, but as of right now, I'm not an EVP anymore, thanks to this man right here." Yep, the picture's a little grainy because I just found it.
Omega.
And Kenny comes out there and he gives Okada the championship, and then they kind of have a stare down and this, that, and the third. This was by far the worst misfire of the night. And I'm going to tell you why, but we have to talk about the main event first. So, Juggs, Dizzle, what do y'all have to say about Kenny Bodyguard Omega being back?
I see where you're going with it. Yeah, and if that's where you're going, then I agree with you 120,000%. Because I didn't think about it until you just said, and I was like, that would have made a lot of sense. Okay, versus the alternative. But yeah, this whole situation when he came out, it felt like it was like, hey. And I'm not saying this would happen, but it felt like Kenny walked in the door and they were like, yo, Okada's in the ring, go ahead and hand him the belt, and then we'll figure out the rest later. Because he goes out there and you're thinking, oh, y'all did put me on the shelf for a little bit. I'm about to go ahead and just hit you with a V trigger real quick and be done with it and throw the championship on your chest and walk out. But to have him walk out so casually, there
was no malice in his heart. There was no malice in his walk. Nothing. It was just.
I wish they would have done. I wish they would have had they kind of did have a little stare down, but when it shows that banner in the background for all in Texas, it should have been them stand between it. like, hey, maybe hinting at, hey, they can tease us, that maybe we might begin that all in Texas, or maybe I don't want to see that at AEW. Was it Grand Slam Australia? I don't want to see that there. Or maybe
No, we should be seeing something else, which we will get to when we get to this main event, because there's something else that's way more important than this. There's way more important things that's happening in this company than Omega having a stare down with Okada. There's way more important things.
When they have this, it's gonna be awesome when they have this match here. But and I want them to build this up properly. Because they have so much history.
I'm not mad at that.
They have so much history with each other, in New Japan. And Excalibur, he's great at breaking things down. He's the human encyclopedia of professional wrestling. He's so smart about wrestling. So he's gonna break it down good for us, for the people that aren't familiar with New Japan.
All right, so I'm gonna let my co-host talk about it. Then because all I'm gonna do is just rant when it comes to this. So, but your main event of the night for the AEW Championship, you got Hangman Adam Page versus Switchblade Jay White versus Orange Cassidy and versus the champ Jon Moxley in a fatal 4-way. Gentlemen, y'all can take it away, and then I'm gonna rant afterwards. So.
I just and correct me or point me in the right direction if I happen to be wrong, because I've half-assed watched AEW over the past couple weeks. So do we actually know what is going on with the Death Riders?
Oh, that's part of the rant. So put a pin in that.
I don't know what
that's part of the rant.
To be honest, I don't know what the end point of this whole storyline is with the whole Death Rider stuff.
Oh no, it's part of the rant. Don't worry, it's part of the rant.
Because I'm gonna let Scoot touch on it. Obviously,
it's part of the rant.
Because it seems like once they came in, they did what they did, and it's just been until next time for the past few months, and it hasn't.
Don't it remind you of Retribution?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm out. The match itself was fine.
You know what?
I guess.
You know what? I don't even think I even really watched it, to be honest with you. I didn't really get a chance.
That's why I wanted. I knew the outcome was going to be Moxley retaining. I knew that was going to be the outcome. So that's why I wanted the Continental Classic to be the main event. Because I just knew what was going to happen. Now, would have made this more better if.
Oh wait,
maybe
y'all keep talking because I'm gonna find an image because I forgot that something else did happen last night.
If there was if there was a cash-in of some sort, with maybe a more teasing, with Christian Cage coming down, it just shows him in the sky, that skybox up there.
Yeah, well, and so that was the thing, is that you have all of these pieces. That's all that you have all these pieces that fit to this puzzle, but it's nobody's putting the pieces together. It's just a bunch of scattered puzzle pieces that's on the table, and nobody's working on the puzzle. That's how I'm looking at this whole storyline, because you have things that's going on. It's we could really make something good about this, but it's because they can't figure out what's about to happen with the Death Riders or whatever story that they're trying to tell with the Death Riders. I feel it's they're just biding their time until they figure out what direction they want to go, because I don't know if they even had an end goal in mind. I feel it was oh yeah, this is a cool idea, we should probably do this, and then went with it without thinking about, okay, what's the end result, where we're gonna land on this.
If they're doing this whole takeover of the whole Death Riders and taking over AEW, they're kind of taking over the main event scene. If they do this whole takeover type of thing, they should be taking over every division, taking over the mid cards, taking over everything with AEW, in my opinion. And also the wrong guy got pinned in this match as well. The wrong guy.
Who did get pinned? Because once again, like I said,
it was Jay White.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jay White took the pin, which I was thinking. Okay, maybe you can have. Okay, so maybe Orange Cassidy could take the pinfall. He could take the pinfall here, okay? And maybe they can go on to like a little side thing between Hangman and the Page to Orange Cassidy in the future. Because I don't think we ever seen that feud before. Have we ever seen Orange Cassidy and Hangman?
I don't recall. Think so.
I can't recall.
And also, I like this character that Hangman's doing. Like he's like doing like this tweener character right now. Like when he's stepping up to his heels, like he's getting cheered, and then when he's when he's going up against like baby faces, he gets booed. So I like this type of stuff that they're doing with Hangman. I thought maybe they're going to set up Moxley and Jay White for that February show in Australia. And seeing him get pinned here, I go like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And it also seemed like this match, the match-wise, it seemed like a big old what's that match that they do at Double or Nothing?
The Stadium Stampede.
Like the Stadium Stampede.
Yeah, both, either one of them.
Yeah. That's what this match felt like. It felt like anarchy in the arena. Like when they're fighting out in the crowd, they're like, this is. I just don't understand the direction with this whole stuff here at all. Yeah, but go ahead, Dizzle.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's pretty much it. It's just a huge question mark because I think if I knew or had some semblance of where everything is going or where we're headed, then I would probably feel better about everything going on. But the fact that there's a big question mark as far as storyline and direction, every match that involves the Death Riders seems pointless to me.
Yep.
So
and also we haven't seen that seen that belt for a little while. It's just been I don't even
it's all about to be in this rent.
I don't even know if it's in that briefcase that they're carrying around because I doubt it could fit in that briefcase. I doubt it.
When this whole thing was introduced, it was Mox and Marina.
Mm-hmm.
Then eventually Claudio, Pac, and then Yuta came.
No. It's Wheeler Useless.
Whatever the fuck. He came around, and for weeks they was tormenting the AEW roster to where when they kind of forced Orange Cassidy to be the de facto leader of the roster, and then Orange went in there, had a match, he lost, and after that it got directionless for the Death Riders, a la Retribution. You came into this company, you was talking about this is not your company anymore, we're taking over, we want to build a bigger and better AEW and this, that, and the third. And after the match was over with and they was doing post-match beatdowns and things of that nature, the music of FTR hits. So I was like, okay, cool. Then we hear the music of one Adam Copeland and we get rated FTR and they come out there and they basically beat up on Moxley and the Death Riders. Where the fuck is Pac? They beat up on Moxley and the Death Riders, and Copeland completed the hat trick because he did this to Rollins, he did it to Roman, and now he done it to Mox. He has completed the Shield hat trick on his submission, and then they make them the saviors of the night. And my whole level of confusion is like, huh? Then the show couldn't even go off the air before this gets announced. Now,
no, never mind. No.
Gentlemen, if you ask me what the fuck is my problem, this man, along with the Bucks, Cody, and a few others, started the fucking company. Why aren't y'all defending y'all's own fucking company? What is happening here?
You know what I wish you would have done?
What is happening here?
You remember
how are you not defending your own company?
You remember how Moxley showed up in AEW? Like
that's the way Omega should have did last night.
He came behind. Oh, pause. He was behind Omega. Well, that's how they should have did it last night.
Yes,
you have Moxley celebrating, and then bam, you see Omega appear with the young Bucks,
These men and women have been trying to take over your company. They have your belt hijacked. We like you said earlier, we presume that it's in this case.
But we don't know. We don't know.
And everybody is fighting the battle except for the fucking people who started the company.
Yeah.
What sense is this making, TK? And then I don't even know anymore. Like, my brain hurts with all this Death Rider shit. It hurts now.
Same. Because
I'm hypothetically now booking everything right now. So now, most likely we're going to get Mox and Copeland. Hopefully no injuries or anything for Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
Then they announced Revolution in March. So are we finally going to get Darby and Mox to where maybe Darby probably gets the belt off of Mox at Revolution? I don't fucking know anymore because they keep treating goddamn Darby like a goddamn crash test dummy. Damn near jobbing out to the Death Riders, especially Claudio. Claudio has been beating the shit out of Darby for the last 2 months.
Yes, yeah.
What is happening with this storyline? It started off so good,
no direction,
and so interesting, and then it just fell apart.
I just don't care about what Jon Moxley's doing right now. And for people who defend Jon Moxley right now, this is, you need to go get your brain checked. I'm sorry.
No, it started interesting, but then all of a sudden, it fell flat. And to quote Jim Cornette, it's flatter than a plate of piss.
The moment that they did all the stuff to Bryan Danielson at was it Wrestle Dream? Like, man, I said this is gonna be bad. I said this is gonna be terrible. Because like what's the point putting the towel back on Moxley?
Four-time champ. Four-time champ.
That must be TK's savior over there is Moxley.
He is.
He is. He's their Brock Lesnar. He's their panic button.
Yeah, and I have no problem with Mox winning the title.
I don't either.
I just really want to know what the actual plan is, because I'm literally afraid that this is going to turn into basically a huge just wet fart where it just comes out of
my bad. This was
no, you good.
Because like it just came to me. You know what pisses me off even more? Look at the 6 men, maybe not Yuta. So look at the 5 men. No. It's a reason why I'm discounting Yuta.
I know where you're going.
If you look at the Death Riders, Mox, Claudio, and Shafir are all former WWE wrestlers. So it makes sense if they're pulling a takeover type storyline. Then you have 3 men who are all former WWE wrestlers defending a company that they didn't fucking start. When you have the elite, at least the core 4 of the new elite of the Bucks, Omega, and Perry, at least they are all AEW originals and started the company, and neither one of them are there to defend the company. What the fuck? What kind of bizarro shit are we living in right now?
You know what I think?
I would be happier with Christian Cage cashing in that world.
I mean, that'll be fine. Honestly,
you know what? I forgot about that aspect. Because at some point, I'm assuming, because this is me assuming
that it expires.
No. This is what's going to happen. Mox is going to beat Copeland. Darby is going to beat Mox. Cage is going to cash in on Darby. And wrong person. Copeland is probably going to circle back around. Hey, Cage, let's do this. And that's probably how Copeland is going to get the championship.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I see that.
But how are you running a takeover angle when the goddamn founders, minus Cody Rhodes, aren't even there to the fucking company? Omega shows up to get in the face of Okada? No, that's the wrong face you're getting in front of, my boy. I understand these are the men who took you out, But these people are trying to take over the company you started, and you worrying about Okada? No. In my wrestling brain, this is not making sense.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Now, because the thing is, I can see now. This is the only way I can see happening. I can see if the Death Riders ran through damn near everybody, then it was like, okay, fuck, we might have to start relying on people who they didn't start with the company, but fuck it, they here now. I can see that, but all he went through was Cassidy. Cassidy is the only person he went through one-on-one. He had to take on Hangman and Jay White all in a fatal four-way. I can see if he took them out one by one. No, this is just, I am just whatever with all of this. It's
flabbergasted.
Whatever. Yes. And then I think what even makes it even worse, if you look at stables that try to do takeovers, we had NWO, New World Order, we had D-Generation X, DX, we had Nexus, we tried to have Retribution, which it fell flat. That's fine. Then you give them also Bullet Club, because we're acknowledging wrestling throughout. Bullet Club. Then, arguably, in the last maybe 5 or so years in wrestling, you give them Death Riders. If that's not in a fucking amazing stable name, the Death Riders. And it's going nowhere. Amazing fucking name. It's turning going nowhere. Like, what is happening? Like, this is so confusing to me right now. This is the shit. See, this is the shit that, and not to compare and bring up when y'all was teasing WWE for and praising AEW for shit, and now the shit is just because at least we can say the bloodline is still doing bloodline things.
Oh, absolutely.
There's still people trying to fight up against the bloodline, but they're still doing bloodline things. At one point, they had damn near half the AEW roster trying to fight the Death Riders, and it just went away. Hell, Private Party got their belts, and they was like, fuck that storyline. Daniel Garcia got his belt. Fuck that storyline. Like, what is happening?
But the crazy thing is, they got their belts from people that's not even in the Death Riders. So it's like, you went off, did your side stuff, and it was like, you know what? I'm cool on that over there. I'm good.
And you know what? Not to circle back, but I'm circling back. And Kyle O'Reilly, you just fucking leave the conglomeration like that? What the fuck?
Oh, speaking of the conglomeration, they're not even a real faction. Don't.
Bullshit. They had merch. Bullshit. Bullshit. But to circle back, but it's like, what is happening? Now it's like, hey, Rated FTR, please save the company from these mean old Death Riders. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the Bucks and Omega? That should be the one defending the company right now,
bro.
But that's just me. I'm just a guy who, you know, just watches his things and like to talk about it. Hey, I am always been a person that if this shit turns around and ends up hitting it out the park, I will always double back and admit when I was wrong. But as of right now, looking at it, ooh, child, this is rough.
I hope that they hit us with something that's just like, we told y'all to be patient. But they're not Triple H though. Triple H can hit you with that. This stuff,
you know, I have to say, I'm happy this was the last pay-per-view of the year. To be honest, I'm happy. I hope they figure out something in 2025.
Well, going on to Max for streaming. So
yeah.
And, you know, they got their big old TV deal. Like, Tony Khan,
and they got a solid month of storyline building to Grand Slam.
he's become like an old man, like that old Vinnie Mac. That's what he kind of reminded me of now, TK. Because he doesn't want to let people out of their contracts.
Well, see, this is the
he's
problem,
just being
Juggs.
petty and spiteful.
This is the problem, Juggs.
Mm-hmm.
Whether people want to admit it or not,
mm-hmm.
it's hard not to take that blueprint, that long blueprint McMahon has done, and not borrow from it.
Yeah,
true.
Regardless of if we want to be against it, when we want to be for it, that man, whether we want to admit it or not, has revolutionized wrestling so much that it's hard not to borrow his blueprint to some of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And if that statement gets me in hot water,
it shouldn't.
Like you cannot have a wrestling business without having something borrowed from McMahon. I'm sorry.
Absolutely true. Absolutely
I'm sorry.
True.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And yes, like this was said, he was being petty. He knew Lucha Bros was like, "Hey, fam, we out." Wait though. Ricky Starks. Wait though.
Hey, but Penta, he's gonna be on the first Raw of the year. Right.
Just wait though. But my brain hurts with all of this. These men and women are trying to take over your company, and you worrying about getting in Okada's face. What the fuck? What?
Yeah.
They literally built it in the storyline that Moxley shut down Rampage.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that was
this past. So we were partying with Nico, but the last Rampage was this Friday, and they put it in the storyline that Moxley was in the production truck and he pulled the plug on the show.
And he shut the lights out on the arena and everything.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I actually watched the last Rampage. I watched the first Rampage, and I watched the last Rampage.
I haven't watched the last one, but I did watch the first one.
Wow.
But here it is. The Death Riders are taking over, and Rated FTR is the people who are going to defend. And I have no beef with Rated FTR. For those who know me, I've always loved the Revival. I always loved FTR. But when I'm looking at this storyline as a whole, y'all are not AEW originals.
Yeah.
Hell, I would have been okay if Chris Jericho would have defended the damn company, because at least he could say he was a goddamn original or the first champion. But no, he's too busy. Hi guys,
the King of New York.
Be the King of New York, man. Look here, just figure it out.
Also, don't get me started on them with having ROH champions on AEW television.
No. You're wrong. Chris Jericho is on AEW.
Yeah, because where the
Chris Jericho is?
Where is Athena at? If they're gonna have Chris Jericho, where's Athena? Okay, I'm getting off on sidebar.
Chris Jericho is the only one benefiting from this shit.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
But Dizzle, I'll go ahead and let you close it on that. Go. You're the champ.
I'm tired of ranting.
You have successfully defended your championship yet again. I guess your next defense is what? Is it going to be Saturday night's main event, or is it going to just be Rumble?
No, we're good.
I should actually not Rumble, because Rumble you get that night off. So I guess it'd be Grand Slam.
We'll see how I feel. I've been putting on a clinic lately, so I'm gonna have to. I may have a deserved vacation. I don't know, but I also am.
I'm losing touch with reality here.
You shouldn't lose touch with reality, because
losing touch with reality, and I'm losing.
I keep grabbing that brass ring. I was predicting my ass off last night.
That's true. You were, but I it wasn't damn near perfect like mine. The only thing I got wrong was QT Marshall, and 0 hour won't even mean anything.
Yeah, actually,
but as far as the
main
card,
you're right.
Flawless.
QT Marshall is the only thing you got wrong.
Yeah, that was the only thing you got wrong.
That was the only thing you got wrong.
Yeah.
So don't beat yourself up, Juggs. It just, you predicted good. I just predicted better, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, me and Scoot were predicting the same way. I feel like me and you sometimes were we'd be on that same.
I mean, because like the way I saw the card, the only other one I could have budged on was Okada and Ospreay. But I just like how Dizzle thought Hangman back in the day, you couldn't knock me off the Statlander and Mercedes pivot until hearing your explanation of you got to have Mercedes here to bring up to have her crashing back down. And like I said, had I known the murder machines with Kung Fu Action Grip, if I knew Kung Fu Action Grip were the number one contenders, I would have went for them. I would have went for that team.
The Murder Machine Action Rush with Kung Fu Grip. They had it. They matter of fact, Action and Rush need to go ahead and join the Don Callis family, but that's not gonna happen. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I will say this: the only smart person in the whole equation was Jaeger, because he said, "You know what? I'm not even gonna bother predicting because I know the losing effort." And I understand that. I wouldn't want to go down at the end of the year as a loser. You know? So I understand. I understand. That man said, "I'm not even. I'm a no call, no show."
That's crazy.
It's the best decision he ever made. Now,
well, Rumble season. And
Jaeger should not join the Rumble because he handled that like a wet fart this year. Let Scoot run him off to let Scoot go ahead and get to 162 days. That's ridiculous. How dare you? Dare you fumble that bag?
Wow, that's crazy.
I should defend my title for Raw just so I could lose it going to Rumble.
And you should defend it at NXT as well. NXT New Year's Evil.
Win Rumble, go into Mania, win Mania, and just say, "Hey, I did this."
Are you just trying to check it all off? You just trying to?
I should.
Just check it all off. That's
I should.
crazy.
I need to be the first person.
You'll be getting a bit too big of a head, and I'll be.
Nah, not at all. Because I'm going to be the first person to successfully cash in Tag in the Bank.
Wow! Now you taking shots at you. Wow!
I should be the first person. I should be the first person.
Hey, let me take some words out of what Okada says. You bitch.
Wow, he just taking shots.
At
He just pop. He just shooting at everybody. That's crazy.
I had to sit out for 4 months and watch you two go back and forth with my title.
Your title.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, I'll end it off with this. I'm gonna be sweet to warm up the too sweet for my bros here, and one for
now you want to give us a consolation after you didn't just.
Oh dang, I can't. It's hard to get the too sweet to the camera. I'll do it with this one. With a good bada bam. Oh, sorry for all the bragging people. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But whether you loved it, hate it, don't forget to rate it, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave all your comments, concerns, questions down below. If you want to leave some congratulations for the champ, I would more than appreciate it. And some sweet condolences for my bros as well.
The worst champion ever. Champ ever.
Best champ ever. But make sure that you tag that subscribe button, tag that like button, tag that notification bell. Hell, tag everything that you see that involves tag. Simple as that. But until then, we bid you all adieu. And until you see these handsome faces and hear these immaculate voices, I'll say it again. We bid you adieu. And until next time, you beautiful, 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 beautiful mother effers. Tag the fucketh.
All right, now that he's gone, Juggs, we got to figure out how to get this tyrant, get that belt off this tyrant. Like, he's starting to become tyrant levels. Like, he's on some Triple H Reign of Terror type shit right now. Okay, we need to try to figure something out. I don't know what we have to do. What we have to do. This. Yeah, we're still alive. The people need to hear this. He has to figure this out because this is getting ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. This is unheard of, uncalled for. This is ridiculous.
You know, it's like the Moxley situation. We need to take this out off him by any means.
By any means.
No, I'll take the L. I'll give you the title back.
No, I mean at this point, and I'm begrudgingly saying this as a competitor. Hell, at this point, maybe you should be champ. Maybe you should be champ. But we got to figure this out because this is getting ridiculous.
I'm a deserving champ.
This is ridiculous. But you know what? We got Rumble. And Rumble is purely, well, we got to see how Dizzle wants to do a Rumble. And it's going to be purely up to chance. Because if he does it like how I did it with randomizers and picking numbers, it's going to be purely up to chance. But we got to figure this out because this shit is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But like he said, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, ScooterRay, Juggernaut 097, that tyrant of a champ, he was here. Tag out, all that other good stuff. Peace.
Dollars make a way to make a change. Gotta be insane to make those same mistakes again. So I'm switching lane to lane. Pray the curb don't scrape.